This video is going to show you how to set up a Flipgrid account, your first Flipgrid grid and topic, and how students can respond to your topics. It's also going to briefly cover how to leave feedback as a teacher, and of course, how students can respond to each other's video responses. The first thing we need to do is we need to visit flipgrid.com. If you do not have an account, you are going to need to create one. In order to create a Flipgrid account, you need to sign up with a Google account or sign up with a Microsoft account. Once you're logged in, you will see your educator dashboard, which is where you can see all of your grids. We want to think of grids like collections of topics or prompts. You can organize your grids in any number of ways. One example is, as a secondary teacher, you might want a different grid for each class period. And then within that class period's grid is going to be all of the different Flipgrid topics you have for the year. You could also choose to arrange your grids by unit so that the topics are grouped depending on which unit they belong to. If you're elementary, you could even have a different grid for each content area. It is completely up to you. When you're ready to create your first grid, you're going to go ahead and click Add New Grid. Give your grid a title, and then you're going to choose what type of grid. I recommend school email, which means students will log in using their Microsoft or Google accounts created by the school district. You can choose to create a unique flip code. However, I find it easiest just to use the flip code that Flipgrid generates for me. Go ahead and click Next. In order to lock down Flipgrid a bit more, we're going to go ahead and enter the domain that appears at the end of student email accounts within our district. The domain is what starts with the @ symbol in an email. So if you have an email address that ends in @gmail.com, that is the domain. Now our grid is ready, so we're going to go ahead and click on All Set. By default, there is an introductions topic within our grid. I'm going to go ahead and check that. And under Actions, I'm going to choose to delete it because I don't usually use that topic. Flipgrid will always ask you to verify when you are deleting a topic. And now I don't have any topics within my grid. Before we get started with topics, we can change the image that students will see associated with the grid. We can add co-pilots or other teachers. We can duplicate the grid, set notifications, and more. But to get started on our first topic, go ahead and add topic. Give your topic a title and determine how long you'd like your students' video responses to be. They can be as long as 5 minutes or as short as 15 seconds. Type in your prompt or question, and you can use the icons below to add any sort of stimulus material or resource, such as a video, an image, or even a file from another program like Nearpod or Kahoot. Once you are done, you can create topic. We can share the URL with students to take them to the topic so that they can respond. We can generate and download a QR code, embed the Flipgrid in a website, share it on Google Classroom, or even share it on Remind. I'm now within the topic details. I can add topic guests if I'd like, which would be people outside of my school, maybe like parents or an expert. Notice I don't have any responses. And before we get started, I want to show you a few advanced options. For advanced options, notice I can turn on video moderation. This means that student videos are hidden until I, as the teacher, activate them. I can also enable or disable student-to-student replies. Students can always respond to a topic, but I can determine whether or not students will be able to reply to each other's videos with more videos. In order to see what everything looks like as a student, I can go ahead and click on the flip code. I will follow the steps that my students will also follow. They're going to go ahead and log in with either their Google or Microsoft accounts. Here I can see the grid title, my topic title, and my topic prompt or question. In order to respond to the video, I simply click the green plus sign. To get started with recording, students have some fun options like adding stickers, which can be, hats or sunglasses that go on their video recording. Sometimes this makes recording their faces a little less intimidating for students. But really, to record, all students need to do is hit the record button. They can start recording their video. They can choose to trash it and start over if needed. When done, they simply pause and hit the blue next arrow. They will preview their video. They can choose to trim their video or add more to it. Once they're happy with it, they're again going to click the blue next arrow. Now students need to take a selfie. The reason Flipgrid does this is that instead of taking a screenshot from your video, you get to choose what your video thumbnail looks like. So you might have seen YouTube will often capture an image from a video and you might end up with a thumbnail that looks something like that. So instead you have a little more control. You can smile, capture that selfie that's going to be your thumbnail, and click the blue next arrow. Make sure student names show up under display name and they can submit their video to your topic. If students are going to be responding to each other's videos, they can simply click on the thumbnail of a fellow student's video. They can watch the video and then they can leave their own video response by clicking on the green reply icon. Let's go ahead and see what these responses look like as a teacher. So now I can see the one student response. I can change the video from active to hidden if for any reason I don't want other students to see it. I can also download the response if I need it for other purposes as an educator. In order to leave the student feedback, I'm going to click on the student thumbnail. I can watch their video, and now I have quite a few more options than students do. I can click on the green reply icon and leave a video response that the entire class can see. I can choose to leave a vibe, which is just a little sticker that's going to appear on their video for all to see. I can feature the response, and this will kind of highlight it for students to see. I can spark the video, and that will turn the video into a topic resource. I can leave private video feedback just available to that student. I can edit a rubric and use a rubric to score the video, or I can leave written comments for that student. Once I'm done, I can close out and move on to the next one if I'd like. Just to recap, in order to share a topic with students, I can click on share. Again, I can share the link. I can create a new link if I think for some reason my link was compromised. QR code, I can embed the Flipgrid activity, share it in Google Classroom, or share it to Remind, or I can simply provide them with this flip code. And when they visit flipgrid.com or when they open the Flipgrid app on the mobile device, they can simply type in that code and be ready to go. And that's all there is to creating a topic and having students respond on Flipgrid.